Hi, I'd like to say a few words about the cover letter now. The cover letter is your attempt to get your foot in the door. It will be the first thing that they see, the HR person sees and reads, and it's really just the factor that will decide whether your resume gets looked at. And I can tell you, if you're applying to any kind of large corporation, think very carefully about the cover letter. It has to be perfect. Grammar has to be perfect. Punctuation has to be perfect. And you have to say the right things. You can think back to Bitzer and the theory we've looked at, or even Aristotle. What does that audience want to hear? What you're going to make a pathos appeal. What are the needs, wants, expectations? Have you touched on those in your letter? I'll say a bit more about the formation of the letter in a minute. First, I just want to stress that this is a key factor. My son works in a large international corporation. They have 5,000 people. And he has been in charge of hiring. And his job is to look at their resumes. So I'll say more about that in the section on resumes. They typically get about 500 to 600 applications for every posting they put out. Software, tech designers, whatever. And he works as a team. He looks at the resumes. Michelle actually looks at the cover letters. Her job, first off the bat, to sort them out. Her goal is to take the stack of, say, 500 and reduce it to a stack of 50. So 9 out of 10 go in the garbage. And quite honestly, she's looking for any reason to put them in the garbage. It makes her day easier. She's at a quick glance, it's a mistake, it's in the garbage. Her thought process is, this is a very important letter. You're applying for a career. This will change your career. This is a life-changing experience. If you're not going to step up and make sure every little detail is perfect, what are you going to do when you're working for them? You're going to be sloppy? Probably. So, in the garbage. It makes it very easy. It makes it easy for her. And on that score, I'll say there is a third person, actually, and you need to be thinking about, just making people happy all along the chain. It's actually the receptionist. She gets all the mail, and she has to sort them out. Like, who gets what letter and what stack, what resume collection. A large corporation may have several jobs going at the same time. Your subject line, if you're doing a formal letter here, cover letters are formal letters, you will have a subject line, and you should state in that subject line what it is about. If there is a job number in the posting, you have to have that in your subject line. It makes her life a lot easier to make piles. Okay, so you've got your letter, it's identified, the right form. Oh, I've got an example here. You think it's just a letter, I can just bang it off and I'll tell them what it's for and they'll look at my resume. You're wrong, because as I've said, Michelle wants to put 9 out of 10 of these in the garbage can, and she wants to do it within a few seconds. She'll spend 5 to 10 seconds and say, yes, no, yeah, no, 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 yeah, yes, no, 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 yes. She's looking for any kind of mistake. She's actually not reading them about your life experience and that kind of thing. And just as an example here, I have a friend who was applying for a job in software architecture, and she knew that I taught this, and she sent her cover letter and resume to me for advice. I sent it to Nick for his advice. He wrote back, he said, yeah, I've got some comments on the resume, but he said it would not hit his desk. There was a punctuation error, and there was a spelling mistake in the cover letter. Done. In the garbage. Take a deep breath, polish your letter, make it zing. The second part, try to make your letter stand out. In design, something eye-catching, just not a chunk of plain, boring text. It can be hard to do, but it needs to catch the eye in its design. And now think about that. We'll have some examples posted. The other thing is, your opening paragraph, please think about the reader. Try to make it, something other than, I'm applying for a job, blah, 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 blah. You've already told them you're applying for that because it's in the subject line, or it ought to be in the subject line. So you're just repeating yourself, and it's really boring. And try to say something that's different. Make it outstanding. Make your document stand out from the crowd, because that's what you're facing. You're facing a huge crowd, hundreds of people applying for that same job. Why should we look at yours? Think about that. So I'll come back and say more. We'll have more details posted and suggestions for cover letters, but I think this is an exercise in persuasive communication.